But you know who else is funny? Our next guest, Ross Allen from Fourth and Long Radio.
Come on, get the music going. We're free! We're free! Broncos fans, Giants fans, all alike. We no longer have to struggle underneath horrible coaching. And for Giants fans, no more GM as well. So congrats.
Thanks, man.
I think, just real quick, can we give a round of applause? Woo!
Listen, man, we may not be having a Super Bowl party, but we're having a party. Well, at least I am.
Hell yeah. Congrats. You know, I'm sure it's really a great time right now. I feel free. Like this whole weight has just been lifted off my shoulders, and it's time to actually go get a real coach and play some football now, isn't it?
Yeah. So about an hour ago, before you came on, we spent half an hour on Joe Judge. That firing happened today. Kyle and I had differing stances on the situation. Ross, as I'm sure you know or may know, I'm pro Joe Judge. Kyle is not. So we had a nice little interesting fireworks type of debate there. But your coach, Vic Fangio, was fired by the Denver Broncos. Are you surprised that the Broncos let Vic Fangio go?
I'm absolutely not. Now, I will be fair. I'm a little bit torn on this situation. The two guys beyond glad are gone. Pat Shurmur, he doesn't deserve to coach a high school at this point. He was just abysmal, wasn't he? That was some of the worst play calling I've ever seen. Like, let's have this fantastic running back in Javonte Williams that can't be tackled, but let's only give him the ball 10 times a game. Or, oh, wait, this run game is working. Let's go to this pass game where we don't have a quarterback on the team. All right. So there's that. There's McMahon, who ran the worst special teams in the league for far too long. But then you got Vic Fangio, who wasn't a great he really reminds me of Wade Phillips. You know, he's a guy want to be like Chris Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy that is a great defensive coordinator, but is not a good head coach. All right. Vic Fangio ran a great defense. He was missing 6 of his 11 starters in week 18, and the Broncos defensively only gave up 22 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. That is a pretty damn good achievement right there. I'm glad he's gone as a head coach. The ideal scenario would have been to just demote him to defensive coordinator, but that doesn't happen, you know?
I definitely agree. Now, there were some issues with his press conference on Saturday night after the game, pretty much calling out his quarterback room in Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, who, you know, obviously they are Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, or Derek Carr, but I think at least Teddy Bridgewater is a competent NFL quarterback that is able to make throws. But I do think that's the one issue on this team. Who's playing quarterback for Denver? I think you want to go in with neither of those players as your starting quarterback in 2022. But Kyle and I want to know what you made of this press conference, because Kyle, remember when I first found out Fangio got fired, I was like, what the hell? Why did he get fired? Because he had an elite secondary, a great defense, and I thought Fangio deserved the 4th year. Ross, I don't know about you. Obviously, you have more of an inside scoop on this team, but Kyle told me about the press conference, and after I heard that, I was like, wow, yeah, you can't really do that. You can't really say those things.
Ross,
Well,
we had a
words from
head
coach
coaching
on his way out, didn't it?
We had a head coaching carousel last week, and Tom and I think everybody really agreed that Vic Fangio was going to get another shot just because he's a defensive-minded guy. You knew that from bringing him over from Chicago. He led one of the best defenses in the NFL, and he built that in Denver, once again, who's also known for great defense. But after what he said in the presser, it's like, you know, you're already on the verge of losing your job with the record you have, no playoff appearances, and then you say that. For me, that was it. You know, that you just, no matter how true it might be, you can't say that. And I think that's what ultimately led to his firing. I don't think he would have been fired otherwise, in my personal opinion.
Really, I was 100% sure he was on his way out no matter what. The press conference really didn't have a tie to it. He was gone going into the week is what the general consensus was. You know, at least that a good majority of that coaching staff. So I'm really not surprised that Vic Fangio is gone. I saw this happening, you know, maybe a few weeks ago, and he's a great coordinator. That's why I'm going back to say he's a great coordinator, but the only problem is why he's not a head coach is because with the Broncos and what GM George Patton noted is that it was pretty obvious what they saw Vic Fangio was lacking in what they're looking for in the criteria when it comes to their new head coaching searches. One thing that they are come out and said that they are putting more weight into leadership than they are into coaching ability. So Vic Fangio, he had the coaching ability. He didn't have the leadership. He didn't hold his coaches accountable. We saw it time in and time out again in these press conferences and these media, press conferences after practice, is that he defended he defended Pat Shurmur and McMahon way, way too much. He did not hold those guys accountable for what they were, and what they were doing is being piss poor coordinators. And when you're a head coach, you have to hold your guys accountable. Vic Fangio wasn't doing that. Hopefully the new guy does.
And you guys have a lot of interest in some of the top names too. Talk about that as well. I think one of the top names that got attached to you guys were like a Bieniemy and were a Flores.
Well, Flores, as of right now, not yet. The horrible thing, and I don't know why. One of the leading names, one of the favorite hires for the Broncos is Dan Quinn.
Interesting.
Don't want that. I don't.
Interesting.
What he do as a head coach with the Falcons? Yeah, the Cowboys have a decent defense right there. It's hard not to when you got Michael frickin' Parsons on your team. All right, that dude's amazing. So it's you better have a good defense there. Dan Quinn is yes, Noah. Dan Quinn does suck. You're right. I don't want him anywhere near the Broncos organization. I don't. The Broncos, as right now, they've taken a look at two guys that have already been head coaches in Dan Quinn and Doug Peterson. I also don't want Doug Peterson. Right now, I think for me, the leaders is one guy I've been wanting for most of the season was Eric Bieniemy, because he knows how to he could run a good offense. I mean, he's been learning from Andy Reid, who's probably top 3 coach in the NFL right now. So that's pretty good. When they were looking at Mayo, the Patriots linebacker coach, I don't want to be anywhere near him because we've seen how the Bill Belichick coaching tree has played out. You guys, especially over there in New York, obviously not great. And then another guy that they're looking into, and honestly, I think he might be my favorite, is Nathaniel Hackett, offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, because who might come with Hackett?
That's true.
Give me Aaron frickin' Rodgers, baby. Let's go.
That's
Ross, back in April on our draft show, you predicted, let's get the celebration going. Let's get the party started. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Green Bay Packer. 9 months later, that is still not the case.
He's showing up fashionably late, Tom. All right, you shut your yapper. It's going to happen.
Hey, I'm just saying. Look,
Hold faith. Hold faith.
If Patrick Graham leaves the Giants, which seems likely at this point, I'd love to have Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator for sure.
Anyone should love to have Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator right now, man. He probably is the best defensive coordinator out there on the market. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll miss Patrick Graham though if he leaves. But anyway, back to the Broncos. Yeah, I mean, I think the underutilization of Javonte Williams falls on Pat Shurmur. It falls on Pat Shurmur. James, Kyle, and myself all know Pat Shurmur very well.
Also, hold up. So they paid this guy a lot of money in Tim Patrick, right? And then late in the season, you want to know what they have Tim Patrick doing? He's lining up as a tight end on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Noah has another interesting comment that you might enjoy.
You know what?
Would you
honestly,
like Joe Judge as your special teams coordinator?
He's definitely not worse than McMahon. That's for damn sure. I just don't know if I want Judge associated with my franchise.
How about Joe Judge as your head coach?
Can you imagine that? Oof.
I've already been through enough hell. There's no need to give me that.
I'll be honest with you. I think Judge deserves another shot, whether it's
not
with
the
another
Broncos,
team.
Man.
Well, here's the thing. The rumor that I've been hearing is Joe Judge goes back to New England, and then when Belichick steps down, he becomes the head coach.
That's what they've been saying about Josh McDaniels for years now.
Yeah. McDaniels has had that spot way longer. Even when he was still even when McDaniels went to the Broncos for 2 seasons.
I don't know. I think Joe Judge deserves another shot somewhere. Maybe
No.
Jacksonville.
Oh man.
Oh, gee.
No.
You know what? Yeah, that's fine. That's
You
fine.
hate Trevor
I think
Lawrence that much?
No.
Ross, tell me this with this offense, right? Because when you were last on the show, I brought it up right away, and we talked about Javonte Williams a boatload, and I think that obviously with Melvin Gordon potentially departuring, he'll then get those carries that we talked about, rightfully so, because we think that he's a great running back and will be for a long time.
Yep.
But talk about this receiving core, because I feel like Denver has invested as much time and assets into their receiving core, but there's nothing to me, at least, that tells me or screams to me number one. Like Cortland Sutton is good when he's healthy. He's never healthy. Jerry Jeudy, I don't think he's really panned out what that Alabama expectation has been. Tim Patrick has been a nice story. KJ Hamler has barely played for you guys. And then you got Noah Fant, who's like, he's either really, really good or you don't even know that he's playing. So does it need to be an overhaul of just the front office, the head coaches, or do you need to assess this offense? Because people like to blame the quarterback right away, rightfully so, because that's a big part. But the receivers in which are in play are good, but nothing screams number one receiver to me. Nothing screams guaranteed number one tight end to me. But that's just me.
The weight of the ineptitude from this offense and the inability for Jerry Jeudy to have a breakout year it comes from the underutilization or the misutilization of Pat Shurmur. I am putting 90% of the blame on Pat Shurmur's shoulders just because it comes, I swear, it comes out the play calling for Denver was horrendous. The personnel packages were horrendous. The route combinations for these receivers were horrendous. All right. You can't expect a wide receiver in whether it be Jerry Jeudy, whether it be Cortland Sutton, whether it be Tim Patrick, who's been great. And unfortunately, KJ Hamler went down with the ACL injury, I think, in the week 2. So that was super sucky to see because he is really good, man. That dude can take the roof off a defense. So I hope he brings that back next year. And then you're having Noah Fant, who he's a receiving tight end. He's not a blocking tight end. All right. We've seen him try to block. He's not that great. He got a little bit better in the later parts of the year, but still he's a better receiving threat. And honestly, I think I'm bigger on Albert Owebanam than I am on Noah Fant at this point. I like Albert O more just because he's been a little more consistent, but it comes to when it's second down long, third down and 8, you need to get first down, and you're dialing up 3-yard passes to the flats. Obviously, your receivers aren't you. If you want your players to be good, you gotta let them play. You gotta give them a freaking chance. The Broncos did not give them a chance to be good, so it's kind of hard to show what you can do when you're not even given the opportunity to do so. And I will admit that, like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland said, they had some bad drops against the Raiders game when they were playing in Vegas that ultimately cost them the ball game there. But overall, Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton are a fantastic duo. I think Cortland Sutton's going to have to take over wide receiver 1, but that's not the worst thing considering they're all really adept at playing the wide receiver position. So the Broncos can be their receiving core can be fantastic. It comes down to how you use your talent. Talent's only good if you let them be good.
Well, Ross, we appreciate you taking the time. Where can people find Fourth and Long Radio?
Unfortunately for you guys, we're everywhere. So you're going to get stuck trying to see us all the damn time. We're on Twitter. That's where I waste most of my life. Of course, you can find us at Fourth Long Radio. We're on Instagram heavy. Best place to find all of our stuff is thefourthandlong.com. That's where we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Rumble. We do videos on Spotify as well. So yeah, we do a lot. I have no life, so I'm always working on this stuff. So of course, you guys can always reach out to me if you ever want to. If you need a hot take, it doesn't matter how accurate or super out there it is. I will produce you with one. That is not only my promise, but that is my guarantee as well. We got NFL shows coming out every week, AFL shows every week as well. That's Australian football. It's it's nothing like football. It's actually really fun to watch. And MMA stuff for all you MMA fans out there as well. We finally get the first card of the year coming back on Saturday. Giga Chikadze versus Calvin Kattar. So we're rocking and rolling just like you guys are. And it's always truly a pleasure to be a part of this and be able to talk with some people that know the pain of having a franchise that underperforms. Luckily, at least the Broncos win more games than the Giants do.
Had to slide in that last part.
Well, Ross, you're always working hard, putting up like 10 Instagram posts a day. So I'll let you get back to it. Go up with your next creative ideas. We love your content. Make sure to go follow Fourth and Long Radio. Ross, thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hey, have fun watching the playoffs this week. All right.
You
Will
too,
do.
buddy.
You
too,
too.
man.
Have a good one.